Hi there. Welcome to this late morning taste challenge. This morning we have from 1972 Gibson's finest Canadian whiskey. Now, they're not saying it's the finest Canadian whiskey, they're saying it's Gibson's finest Canadian whiskey. And they have at least two of them. This one and the Sterling, which is a rye, high rye. All right, it's 80%. It's 80 proof, 40% alcohol. It was introduced in 1972. It's aged 12 years. I bought this big glass 1,750 milliliters bottle for $9.99 plus taxes. Savannah discount on Louisiana Highway 45 northbound in Marrero, Louisiana. Now, it has, let me say some more stuff. It has a cork, a real cork. It has a maple leaf on it. Whiskey, Canadian whiskey. Well, you know, the Canada thing, right? People in Canada love Canada. Now, Gibson started in the United States, but then when Prohibition started, Mr. Gibson took off to Canada, kept making whiskey. Then his company got bought out. In 1972, they launched the 12-year age Gibson's finest. It is now owned by William Grant and Sons. All right. Whiskey made the time-honored way. Should be a hyphen there between time-honored way. Oh, that's all right. These are whiskey experts, not grammar experts. I'm not even a grammar expert. Aged for smoothness and richer taste. Okay, richer taste. Matured and bottled in Ontario, Canada. They didn't say it was distilled in Ontario, but it probably is somewhere in that province, that huge province. All right. Not bottled in the USA, like many of them. Says Canadian whiskey must be aged a minimum of 3 years by law. But they're quadrupling it. 3 times 4 is 12. We're going up against Canadian Hunter. I realized I forgot to do this, add this to my Sazerac versus Gibson's list. But then I said, well, I could just double up today instead of doing the rum today, which is going to be for Friday. I'll do this. And then Saturday, I'll do the Dawnbusters with Gibson's versus another Sazerac brand. I think that is Canadian Crest. And then Sunday, Gibson's versus another Sazerac brand. I think that's Albertsons. And then Monday, the rum. Then Tuesday, another Gibson's versus. And Wednesday, the rum. And then Thursday, another Gibson's versus. And then Friday, the rum. And then Saturday, another Gibson's versus. And then Sunday, the rum. I didn't mean no harm. I didn't mean no harm. All right. Canadian Hunter was introduced in 1984 by Seagram's, which went out of business 16 years later. In 1989, Seagram's, I guess they were already starting to struggle. They sold this brand to Sazerac. And now there's the rye version, high rye. Man, the glare. It's got a bullet. And the bottom of the bullet says Canadian Hunter. It's also 80 proof. Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Oh, boy. You say, that looks like an ancient age bottle, don't it? I wonder why that is. Well, it says bottled by Sazerac Company, Frankfort, Kentucky. Yep, you got it, the Sazerac Company. You say, Frankfort, Kentucky, isn't that Buffalo Trace? Yes. And Sazerac owns Buffalo Trace since around 1991 or something like that. I think in 92 they renamed it Buffalo Trace. It was called It was called, I believe it was Blanton Distilling. They renamed it Buffalo Trace. And, but they still make the Blanton, you see. Okay. And this is their standard, one of their standard bottles. They use it for Benchmark, old number 8, you've seen it. Ancient Age, this thing here, and a whole lot more. Where's my other glass? Oh, and so a 1972 versus 1972 model versus a 1984 model. '72 Pontiac Vauxhall, wasn't that it? Versus a 1984 Pontiac Vauxhall. They always had these strange Canadian versions of American cars. The Astor. All right. Yowza, poured too much. All right. All right. I gotta go. I'm gonna eat some. I'm gonna eat some spinach salad, and then later for lunch, I've got some good items. I didn't eat but 5 crackers this morning. Well, yesterday I had this. It was kind of dense, like you said, I ain't no kind of lunch, but it seemed like it was heavy. It was a coupon, $3. You got large Burger King fries, which I'm sorry, Burger King, your French fries are not good. You want good fries? Call McDonald's and they'll show you how to make good fries, because yours are not good. But anyway, I ate them. You know, I was hungry. And then they had these chicken fries, and she said, "What kind of sauce you want?" I said, "Well, how about, what do you have?" And she gave me the list. I said, "Give me a buffalo and a ranch." All right. So she gave it to me, and I poured some black pepper on the chicken fries. He said, "That ain't no kind of healthy lunch." Oh, I never made any claims to that effect. I never said it was healthy. I say it was dense and filling. Notice at no point did I ever mention the health aspects. You say, "What'd you have for supper?" Something healthy, I hope. Yes, vegetable. You say, "What vegetable?" I'll tell you, I had some Doritos nacho flavor, 1 bag for $1. You know, at the baseball game, Southeastern Louisiana hosting Louisiana Lafayette, and we lost again. 2 games in a row, we lost to them. 2 nights in a row, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. If you like really good baseball, don't come to Southeastern Louisiana University this year and watch it, because they're not good. But it's entertaining. You know, I got a season ticket package, and we're all right. So I opened up the bag, and I put a bunch of jalapenos in it, mixed it all around. So that's my vegetable, jalapenos, the pickled jalapeno. Tyler Mansell said, "Those burger coupons are good, but if you eat too much of them, you won't feel too well. Ha ha." He says, in other words, Burger King. Yeah, and now Pablo, who works with me, Pablo said, "I want a Whopper and fries," and he dips the fries in mayonnaise, "and I want a Coke." I said, "All right, Pablo." So he says, "This Coke tastes like crawfish boil." I'm saying to him, "What?" He said, "Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me, but it tastes like crawfish boil." I said, "It must be you, because I sipped some of that Coke with a straw, you know, because it was overflowing. I wasn't going to let it. I didn't want it to overflow into that 2018 caught myself. That 2018 Ram 1500 Tradesman. No, 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 no. Throw some kale into your spinach salad. Yeah, bok choy, right? No, I'm going to throw some Polish sauerkraut, a stuffed olive, fried onion rings, and some salad dressing. I need to buy some more salad dressing. I'm not going to the store today, though. It's raining. I have nothing pressing I need to buy, but I have some things I want to buy, like Keystone Light or Miller High Life Light or something like that. All right, it's time to get on to this. Who's going to win? Well, the VO Gold, the Seagram's VO Gold just really gave the Gibsons a bad run for its money. I mean, it kind of, at first it was close, and then as I tasted on and on, the Seagram's VO Gold just kept getting better and better, and the Gibson's was just not improving. So I had to call it Seagram's 1. Does it have a cork? No, it has a twist cap. But it does have a cloth ribbon. Do you see a cloth ribbon on that Gibson's? No, you do not. Just kidding around. Like, that matters, you know. But you would think Canadian Hunter really wouldn't have a chance, because Canadian Hunter is, I mean, I know there are people that like it. I got people that make comments. They're like, I love Canadian Hunter. They'll say the Hunter Rye is good, the 90 proof version. But you know, it's $8.99 for a bottle. $8.99. You can get the big jug plastic bottle for $16.99. Come on now. Now the Gibson's is about $50 for that big bottle. $50. But I got it for $9.99. Why? Because organized crime is very because of some crazy discount, which I didn't question. All right, they're both golden. Yeah, just gold. They don't look very different one from the other, do they? Nah. Don't suppose I did put a little too much of that Hunter. Now, Canadian Hunter uses natural flavors. You say, oh no, I hate artificial flavoring. No, I didn't say artificial flavoring. I say natural flavors, which are, according to the law of Canada, it can be wine. It has to be wine that's aged in small wood, meaning small barrels. So it has to be wood aged wine. Doesn't it have a certain percentage of alcohol it has to have? I can't remember that. I can't remember all these things. It has to have, and it can be, and they can use other liquors, distilled spirits in the blend. Rum, brandy, bourbon, even bourbon. Okay, so it could be, you start mixing those things around. Just think of all the intricate flavors you could have. But no, they cannot use artificial coloring. They can't use artificial flavors. You say, but they can use coloring. They can use caramel color. I know I didn't say, I say they couldn't use artificial caramel color. You could take sugar, burn it, get it brown, or brown it, you know, and then that's your coloring. So you say, no, caramel color causes cancer. I read Food Babe. Right. You say, I know that's science, because they injected these lab rats with pure caramel sugar 6 times a day for 2 months straight, and they got cancer. 20% of the time they did that. Well, that proves a lot. All right. And where was Food Babe sources? Oh, yeah, she didn't really cite any sources, but that doesn't matter. It's the cause that matters, man. Evidence doesn't matter. Make me sick with all your stinking reliance on facts. It's the emotion that matters, man. If she says you did it, you did it. Even if you weren't even in the same state at the time of the accusation. When did she say it happened? She can't remember. But I believe her, man. Okay. I do not want to hear your jaw of traitor, running dog, lackey, fascist opposition with your fixation upon facts and evidence. I don't want to hear it either. I want to do a whiskey review. Okay, let's go. Now that the comedy's over, you say, yeah, you're a comic, all right. A comic in all seriousness. I know what you're doing, man. I get your oblique attempts to inject certain elements within the videos. I get it, and I don't like it. I never said I was attempting to inject any oblique concepts within these videos. I never made that statement ever once. Of course, why would I have to? All right, now, this thing smells like Canadian Hunter. You say, what do you mean? Oh, well, you know, the flavorings, they're not bad. I don't object to these because they're like almond. They don't use almond extract. but they're like a dessert, almost a dessert-like flavor. You say dessert, damn. I don't know what it is. I can't. It's a nut oil. It's walnut oil, pecan shell. I don't know what it is. You can't really describe it adequately. I never said I could describe these things properly. I'm saying you got to get them and buy them and try them. I mean, $8.99. That's no big loss, even if you don't like it. But I have a feeling you'd like it. Or even if you didn't like it, you could at least tolerate it. Oh, well, you know what, though? I love to do these point counterpoint videos because it'll bring out something in one that it never brought out before. Now, let me tell you something about this Gibson. This has got to be good. Whoa, look at those alcohol eggs. Like a bunch of little fence boards. Oh, yes. I'm going to say something about this Gibson's. There is flavor in this Gibson's. You might say, get out of here with that. I'm telling you, you don't have to disclose it with Canadian whiskey. You're not obligated to list the flavors or even say it. Sazerac is doing that as a courtesy. That's not an obligation. You read the Canadian website, read the Canadian regulation. It just said they're allowed to do it. It never says they must disclose it. Just like American blended whiskey, they can have flavor and they don't have to disclose it. They might choose to. Oh, there's a lot of like, what is this flavor? It's like a, oh, you would never get this in a bourbon. It's like a almost like a cream cheese, a Duncan Hines cream cheese icing. And I said that was like that with the Genesee cream ale. You say, oh no, he's going mad. No. Get the Genesee cream ale and drink it and sniff on it and taste it, and you'll say, there is something peculiar about it. But it's enjoyable. Oh, that's very flavored. It's sweet. It's like a candy, a confectionery. Yeah, the confectionery sugar. You know, it's so powdery. It's almost like a liquefied thing. But it's actually a solid. But it's so finely powdered, it becomes almost a liquid in that bag. Okay, so I want to retract this. I think this is the Gibson's because it is flavored, but it's not as strong. So do I think Gibson's and Canadian Hunter are both flavored Canadian whiskeys? Yes, I do now believe that. And I'm not going to lie. I was thinking that off air. I said, what if I compare the two and then those Sazerac flavored Canadian whiskeys start to bring out those aspects of the Gibsons? And it's happened. I can't believe it, but it's happened. I do believe it. It's happened. Well, okay, this is becoming more fascinating. Now the Sazerac, I mean okay, I'll get it right. The VO Gold, I really doubt that the Seagram's VO Gold is a flavored Canadian whiskey. It may be. It may be. But I think it's minimal. The Gibsons may be more than I had believed. But now I have to taste it. It's got me a little thrown off. But that's the adventure of these taste challenges. It's like a little bit of an adventure, you see. Okay. The viewer might say, you have a lot of adventures each week. I do, don't I? I enjoy them. Oh. You get the grain whiskey, the grain alcohol, the base whiskey, column still. Okay, that's all that. But it's not harsh. And there's the flavor. The almond, the walnut oil, is it a white port that they're using in the wine? A white port? I think it could be. Now, I noticed one thing about this. You got a 12-year age versus a no age statement, which almost assuredly must be a 3-year age. You know they're not going to go over the minimum. I mean, they could, but you know they're not. I'm not really picking up a vast divergence in wood notes. I don't know. I think that's a detriment to the Gibsons. You would think after 12 years it would just be screaming wood, like the Bacardi 10-year, but it isn't. Mm. Oh, it has that heavy bite. I think some of the bite is associated with like a toothpick type wood hitting you. Oh, the Whiskey Scout. Whiskey Scout, if you're watching this, live or recorded, we've got to get together soon to do the Gibsons. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know. It's got to be soon. With this month, it must be this month. We must go on. We have to go on this month. It's not a distress signal. It's a warning. I don't know if John and Eli can get it. Oh, well, okay. I think that this kind of harsh bitiness, the wood, the toothpick wood, that must mean that this is the Gibsons. And it does seem to have a deeper flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like the flavor is drawn out more. Whereas this one, it's there, but it dissipates relatively quick. About 25 to 100 ratio, right? Get it? Because it's 4 times as much in the aging. Well, on the other hand, though, it's really not the other hand. Just additionally, I should say, additionally, the Canadian Hunter's not doing so bad against the 12-year age Gibsons. Some people might be very offended by that. I'm sorry. It does seem to be holding its own, though. One thing about these glasses, these Glencairn, they will hold a fingerprint badly. There must be some kind of coating, because you could just barely touch it and gives a nasty looking fingerprint. Really ruins the video. I don't know about that. Other glassware doesn't really pick up the fingerprints so much. Must be sensitive to oil on your skin. Oh, man, I'm gonna have to use some really hot water and soap. I don't know, Robert. Robert's got a job. I have a job too, but I'm off today. I tell you what, this is a confounding taste challenge. I thought this would just be some run through, fill up space, just do it for the whole sake of doing everything against everything. But now I say no. By golly, you think you know it all, and then you do these taste challenges, it'll blow you. It just blow your whole preconceived notions about it. It'll ruin. Now, which one's better? That's a key question, because they're not the same in price. You, the viewer, are not going to go to your local store and get Gibson Select. Gibson's Fine. I keep saying Select. I'm just fixated on it. Gibson's Fine is for $9.99 for 1,750 milliliters. You're probably paying about 35 or 40, I would say. So we're talking about an above, well, let's say premium to above premium 12-year age Canadian whiskey versus a bottom shelf budget Canadian whiskey, the Canadian Hunter. But it is not racing ahead of it. It's such an indictment against the Canadian Hunter. I mean the Gibson's Finest. William Grant, they're going to put me on a hit list, right? Y'all can't put me on a hit list because who's been bragging about Clan McGregor Scotch more than me on the internet? Nobody. So to William Grant and Sons, before you come after me, remember who has been bragging on Clan McGregor far too much, really. But I'll still brag about it. I could drink that Clan McGregor. Oh, what a good whiskey. Oh, it's so cheap. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's way better than it should be. Oh, I'm gonna make an emotional video one day. It's going to be called I'm just kidding. All right. You say do it. I know what you're thinking. You're going to do the blended whiskey, the blended Scotch whiskey project. Now, I'm not ready to do projects yet. People have been asking me, what's going on with the regular beer project and the malt liquor project? Well, there's nothing going on with it because I can't find any new ones. I mean, I would do the project once a week if I could find something to project. They're both dang enjoyable. Well, see, that's the problem. I think Canadian Hunter has to win this challenge. It has to win because I'm not breaking it down too easily. The Gibsons is not running away with the show again. I thought this is it. This is where there's going to be a breakthrough. Like Queen said, we've reached a breakthrough. You know what I mean? Like we've reached a point where we've started to make progress with certain situations at hand. And Gibson's is not doing that. It's not dying on, it's not flopping, but it's not breaking through. And you would think against a bottom shelf like Canadian Hunter, it would just smash it, but it isn't. So by default, and this is a very important thing when you do these whiskey examinations, you have to take into account the price, and by default, it wins. So without even knowing which is which, Canadian Hunter is a clear winner. And I'm sorry, but it's a clear winner. I mean, I have no horse in a race. I care less. I did call Sazerac today. I'll mention that. They told me, yeah, we know about the website. The man on the phone said, yeah, it's undergoing a major reconfiguration. But that's all he could tell me. We don't know when it's going to be properly rolled out. I'm thinking it's going to be in conjunction with the launch of the Sazerac experience down there in a big Louisiana city. And it's going to be a free tour, and I'm going to go. God willing. So, okay, last chance here, and then I'll have to eat some food. And, oh, golly, I have another beer review to do today, recorded, not online. And then I have a taste challenge to do today with beer. That will be online. That will be a runaway. Busch versus Pabst Blue Ribbon, or Busch versus Schlitz. Oh, well. There is no hope for Busch in those challenges. Busch will be destroyed. But, I'll do it, but it will be destroyed. All right, so I like Busch beer, but it's no Schlitz and it's no Pabst. There's no argument there. Sorry, Anheuser-Busch, but that's the truth. Okay, it would stop raining, I'd go walking. I'm going to make a call on this, and I'm not at all entirely confident. I'm actually not even reasonably confident. I think I'm looking at the keyboard and I'm thinking about what's in my cabinet. I'm thinking you got to bring in the James Fox. You've been sitting on the James Fox since 2018. It's about time. I know. I think that the James Fox could really put things in an uproar, because James Fox is another one of those Seagram's brands. This one from 1975, James Fox, that got bought out by Sazerac, and you start to wonder, where would that go? Where would that go? Maxwell says, greetings. Greetings to you in the Russian Federation, Maxwell. Well, you caught me at the end of this, but you could watch the playback. Wish me the best. But we've already determined that Canadian Hunter is a clear winner just by the fact that you can't distinguish them without a whole lot of effort, and the price difference is so grave or profound. All right, so I'm going to say this is Canadian Hunter, but oh no. Johnny Neely told me this very morning, don't give us any more shocks. Well, sorry, Johnny Neely, but all right. I'm not shocked by the fact that I got them mixed up, because as you could tell by this video, I couldn't tell them apart early, middle, or late in the video. It was a real problem. So the troubling fact, though, is that the Canadian Hunter is saying blended Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. And yet the Gibson's is talking about, oh, this is a very, very serious whiskey, aged 12 years. It's elevated above all these common items, but yet, look at the video. So, all right, well, yeah. I'm kind of scared, though, because I've got that Canadian crest, and I've got the Albertsons, and I've got the, oh, boy, I've got the Caliber. Oh, the Caliber. Oh, Lord. I've got, I've got so many blended Canadian whiskeys with natural flavors added to put up against Gibson's. And if this thing keeps turning into this repetitive, it's not winning, it's not winning, it's not pulling ahead, it's not differentiating itself, I'll say, ooh, you know. Oh, and I've got the Canadian Limited and the Rich and Rare. Oh, and the Rich and Rare Reserve. This could get way worse before it gets way better, but I'm willing to do it. I'm going to make the sacrifice. I'll do it for you. I'm kind of flabbergasted. So, wow, I can't get over it. All right, well, you say, when is the Blanton's bourbon coming in, that single barrel bourbon? It's coming in soon. Every time I wake up, I think about a horsey. The first thing I think about when I'm drifting off to sleep is a horsey in a round bottle. That's single malt, and I didn't pay for it. Somebody gave it to me. It's almost a full bottle.